Hello everyone, this is a climax, and I am Gao Zhe. It's New Year's Eve, and tomorrow marks the Year of the Horse. Tradition dictates that I should offer auspicious blessings. However, as various TV stations broadcast their Lunar New Year galas, the logos have triggered a certain reflection in me. I have a penchant for painting, and I've noticed something. The design and dissemination of these festive logos should be the ultimate opportunity to inherit and promote our traditional culture. But, sigh, beyond that, I've spent the last couple of days wandering around. Seeing those multicolored plastic horses piled up in commercial spaces, what wells up in my heart isn't a sense of celebration. It is a faint, lingering sense of desolation. I cannot find a single horse. What I mean is, I cannot find a horse that truly inherits the aesthetic DNA of Chinese tradition, a horse carrying those lines and that backbone capable of piercing through time and space. What are we seeing instead? Mass-produced 3D models from assembly lines. AI-generated lines that are 200% perfect. This brings me back to our recent episode on Hokusai's The Great Wave. When that wave surged through the world's fashion, art, and commercial design, demonstrating a near terrifying level of cultural soft power, what were we discussing? We were asking, why can our culture break through internationally? The answer lies right here, in these Year of the Horse designs. When a nation, at its most significant totemic milestone, cannot even borrow a single proud bone from its ancestors, how do we expect the world to hold us in awe? Some say, isn't inheritance just being old-fashioned? Can't modern people have their own creativity? I'm sorry, but please don't use creativity as a fig leaf. Look back 1,300 years to Han Gan. In an era without computers or AI, he painted night shining white. With elongated eyes and an arrogant gaze, every line looks like a bolt of lightning leaping from an ink pond. It is struggling, it is roaring. That beauty does not seek to please. Look at Li Gonglin of the Song Dynasty. His minimalist, plain line drawing captured the very soul of the horse. This power should be flowing in our visual genes, not gathering dust in museums. Yet our designers, our TV stations, and our commercial institutions prefer to mimic the most mediocre Western industrial aesthetics. They take the once majestic, divine steed and turn it into something resembling a bobble-headed puppy. This obsession with character and backbone within the brushwork isn't something only our ancestors understood. Look at our neighbor, Sesshu Toyo of Japan. He crossed the seas to the Ming Dynasty to study. He took the ink techniques learned from China and tempered them into a sharp, ultimate intensity. In those East Asian ancient paintings influenced by China, whether in stillness or motion, you can feel a quiet power of life and death. These lines do not compromise. They exude the composure and self-possession of a scholar. Why did Hokusai's wave resonate globally? I believe it's because it held on to that out-of-step coldness and grit. Our neighbors are holding on to it, perhaps even more stubbornly than we are. What is truly worrying is that while we congratulate ourselves on the internationalization of Gala logos and the creativity of plastic mall horses, the aesthetic sovereignty that belonged to us, one capable of covering the globe, is slowly draining away in this self-inflicted downgrade. Innovation can use AI. It can use VR, but you must not tear down the temple to build a gaudy pigsty. If we ourselves cannot hold on to the proud bones of our ancestors, how can we become the next global phenomenon of Eastern culture? We seem trapped in a cycle of aesthetic degradation. For the sake of festive harmony, we make the profound shallow. For internationalization, we erase our identity. Japan turned tradition into a global trend because they dared to preserve that unseasonable coldness and edge. And us? Many are too eager to smooth out all the corners. What's left is just visual trash, loud for a moment, forgotten the next. I must address a common skepticism. Does inheritance mean copying old things entirely? Of course not. You can make a horse with VR, with installation art, or with AI. But there is a prerequisite. You must have the horse's spirit. Innovation is not a downgrade of intelligence. Current Year of the Horse visuals are, at their core, aesthetic laziness. The designers, the directors, the leaders of TV stations, and the mall owners, they are afraid to study how a single line moved in an ancient painting. They are afraid to experience that vital tension of a golden age. So, the easiest way is to use a commercial template, add some red, throw in some auspicious cloud, symbols, or let AI draw it. This isn't innovation, this is cultural quarrying. This practice doesn't just fail to create influence, it erodes the public's reverence for traditional beauty. When the youth grow up seeing zodiac animals that look like plastic toys, do you expect them to understand the ancient brushwork or the concept of backbone? I feel a visceral sense of sorrow. Our cultural output remains weak because we are losing that unflattering confidence. Han Gan didn't paint horses to please Emperor Xuanzang. Li Gonglan didn't paint to please an audience. True beauty is the silence found after seeing through the truth of life. Inheritance isn't about turning everything into an antique. It's about maintaining a cold clarity amidst this absurd commercial noise. We need the kind of power that makes the heart skip a beat. You don't have to paint an ancient horse, but you must capture the spiritual light of the horse. We aren't discussing this to start an aesthetic war. My point is to find the vanishing spirit of this nation. On this New Year's Eve, the call for the Chinese horse is a collective nostalgia for the aesthetics of a great power. As the Year of the Horse approaches, I hope that one day, when we walk the streets, we won't see repetitive, cheap creativity. Instead, I hope to see horses that look as if they've stepped out of Han Gan's brush, carrying the wind of the great Tang, the bones of the era, and that unique, cold pride of our people. In that moment, cultural inheritance truly comes alive. This is a climax. Enjoy masterpieces from global collections, perceive the 10,000 things, and embrace the cycles of reflection. Like, subscribe, share, and comment. Hit the bell icon and select all to support me. I will continue to curate more exquisite masterpieces for you. In this Year of the Horse, I wish for us all to break free from the reins of mediocrity and gallop within our own worlds. I won't wish you the usual cliches of instant success. Instead, I wish you all an immediate sense of peace and joy.